This is my Spotify stakeholder analysis and reflection. My chosen stakeholders were the artists and creators of Spotify. The key models I chose are the Go model, as the Go model focuses on revenue growth through increased content creation and market expansion. So it shows how user experience is balanced with revenue generation to reach monetization goals and personalized recommendations to increase content visibility. I also chose the domain model as it provides insights into how listeners can discover and interact with the content from the artists and creators. So the domain model shows that there's a relationship between the artist's albums and the users. So listeners can follow artists, and artists can then produce albums, which the listeners can add to their created playlists. So the prioritized requirements are content and discovery streaming. So strong search features in created playlists like Discover Weekly, which is a playlist that is made weekly that includes songs that are based on a user's listening activity. And personalized recommendations for artists and creators work. Artists and creator pages and monetizations. So tools to track streams and revenue, and profiles showing albums and singles for musicians and podcasts for creators. Content protection. So intellectual property safeguards with encryption. So to address some questions that these stakeholders may have in regards to the system requirements. So how can Spotify enhance visibility for lesser known artists? So it can introduce curated playlists that are tailored to promoted emerging artists. Are there any plans for real-time analytic tools for creators? So Spotify can include real-time dashboards showing live streams, engagement, and playlist inclusions. So what mechanisms can ensure fair revenue sharing from streams? Spotify can show transparent revenue breakdowns for collaborations. And for my self-reflection on my contributions. So as you can see from my stakeholder model, I was able to effectively make connections between all the stakeholders. And with my stakeholder matrix, it was concise yet detailed, which overviewed the roles, motivations, and concerns of my chosen stakeholders, which worked really well with my union model. And for my section 2.3 and 2.4, I was able to address a wide variety of user characteristics, ranging from technical expertise to regional preferences, and I combated possible constraints like device compatibility. The main challenges I dealt with was creating a balanced stakeholder union model. So making sure the model covered all perspectives while staying aligned. The overall project vision was a bit difficult because there was a large variety of stakeholders I could have chosen from. So having to narrow them down to the top 20 was a bit difficult. So my solution to this was to create a draft model, which I then got feedback from my team, and which then I ended up making a revised model, and then lastly, final model. So lessons learned and future improvements. The most useful thing in the SRS document, I think, was understanding and analyzing the stakeholders, which set the foundation for the requirements and design for the app. This alignment ensured a user-centered approach, which is critical for an app like Spotify. So for future, I will allocate more time to refining diagrams and visuals as it's a gradual progress, and more in-person meetings to avoid miscommunications and delays with my team members.